Okay, I just got the notification.
I'm not live here yet. I guess maybe I have to.
There you go.
Hey folks, it's Mike, the disgruntled mechanic. Don't be trying to help me, okay? Just sit over there and be silent and watch you're doing well. I started my chat here. I'm supposed to have Thomas EXOVCDS drop in. I think we said about 6 o'clock. I don't see him. I thought maybe I had to go live to get him in here. I hope he shows up, or I actually told a lie on my post. But hi Clint, hi Badger, hi Wyatt. How is everybody? I don't know. Like I said, I emailed Thomas. I don't know when he's going to come in here. I don't know what I'm going to talk about otherwise, but that we had a lot of snow and doing some projects because my garage is full of crap from the winter. So wonderful. Jack said we better up the reservation. They're going to have a kid. Tell him to leave her at home. Okay, sorry, went off on the side here a little bit, but we're back. So I don't know what projects I'm going to be working on. I have some with my truck I have to do. I have to get that ready for inspection. And sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking over at what I'm posting here. Badger, I might take your idea of doing the live. So I'm going to do something simple though, like maybe an oil change or some crap. I'm not going to be or whatever, but hi Drew, how are you? Good to see you. You know what's going on in the chat here because I'm trying to look at it, but
It's just hellos.
oh, okay. Well, anybody have anything that they want to ask, or because like I said, I was planning on having Thomas here, and I really don't know what else I'm going to talk about. I'll have to bring Helga on. Helga can talk. She can talk real well. I'll bring her on for assistance. I guess the one thing that's missing here is the alcohol. I didn't even get any. I don't know. Of course, I got some Windex here. I guess I could drink shots of that. I don't know. Maybe. Bring it, Helga. Hey, okay, Drew. I know I'm boring. All right, and I know she's better looking. I understand. Hey, Norm. Good to see you. Now I'm actually still waiting for Thomas. I don't know where he's at. So invite actually 2 of them. I have no other way to get hold of him. Maybe I could email him, but let me see. One of the things I may be doing in July, I'll talk about that, is I watched my live event from TST and with Eric O there. And one of the things I may be doing in July, there is an event in Chicago called Mechanica, I think is how it's pronounced, and they have classes and stuff there. Getting there, the classes are free for, I pre-registered, so the classes are free, which is cool. But just to pay for the hotel and stuff to be there. So we can have I don't know. You guys want to have Helga cook something? So whip something up there. Until Thomas shows up. I don't know what we're going to talk about. What's that? Crack open a bottle of wine. All right, sounds good. Let's just have some wine. since we went out for supper. And so I got a preference on wine. No, just get me something. Work is going to be fixing my snow plow up from the 30-inch snow that we had here. As if you saw Helga's video that out from, and it beat my plow up, beat my truck up. It was rough. It was really rough here. So Wyatt, I think you can still register. Like I said, the big cost for it out there at the Auto Mechanica, to me, is the rooms. You know, if you stay where they're having it, which I think they're having it. Let me look here. I think they're having it at. I think it's the Hyatt out there. It. And the rooms at the Hyatt are very expensive, and everything else around is really expensive. I mean, the cheapest you can get, you know, is 4 miles away for like $175 a night, and it's 3 nights to stay and do the classes. So it's certainly not cheap by any means. So, and you know what? It's funny, Wyatt. I was just going to ask you if you had points for that. I didn't reserve yet. You know, I was going by the block of rooms, and I was gonna, you know, reserve it. And they have a 48-hour cancellation fee, so I figured I'd do it. But you know, I'll split a room with you. I'll be your roomie. I don't care. Hey, thanks, Drew. Appreciate that. You know, that all helps. I mean, you know, it's like I said, it's just a Friday night thing here. I really don't have a whole lot. I know, like I said, what you guys want to talk about. I'll bring Helga, and you can watch her and I drink wine. I mean, I don't care anymore. Well, I never really was. I mean, you know, we already had 6 or 8 bikers in one room. Cared about sleeping or you know, the shower or being unclothed or anything like that, because usually we were so inebriated that none of that mattered.
Don't remember it anyway.
Yeah, that's right. We don't remember it. There's Thomas. Thomas is waiting for the invite. Did you get it, Thomas? I sent it, and I think Google Plus. Did you happen to get it? Thomas is in the house. He said he was waiting for the invite, and I thought I sent it to him. Let me see if we can get this going. Oh, I sent it via Google Plus, and I sent it to your Gmail account. It said it was an invite. That worked before. Folks, give me a minute. I'm going to try this again to see if I can get Thomas invited here. Like I said, Thomas, I thought I did do it twice. Invite people? Yeah, it says I sent it to you. I am going to actually send it to your Gmail account. You the link, and then just push on the link, because it's did you get a Thomas? Did you get a from me or not? If you said anything or not, I know. Well, he said
okay. He said he didn't get the first one. Now he says okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let me try this. I think I'm sending it to the right you gave me. I'll get in here. Sorry, folks, but I want to get Thomas in here. All right, I'm working on it, folks. Be patient, please. Helga's supposed to be keeping you guys entertained. I don't know. She's busy pouring herself wine.
I'm pouring you wine too.
Yeah, well.
I was just there. There's nothing special. Fire mechanics in the house. Electronics is asking how you add people to live chats. He said that's above his head.
Basically, in Hangouts. Okay, Thomas, I'm sending you a link, and all you should have to do is click on the link to come into the Hangout. Basically, all you have to do, and when you do it in Hangouts, is there is a sign up in Hangouts with a person with a little plus sign by it, and you're supposed to be able to go on that, push on that, and it says invite people. That's how I was doing it. All right, Thomas, I sent the link. If that doesn't work, I don't know what else to do. Hi, Kevin from the UK. Thank you. Let me know if you get that, Thomas, with that link.
PA wine. That's
All right, here's
I just tried.
Here's what we're drinking tonight. Spy Cat. There was other concerts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things neat about this winery, what they started doing was started having concerts. There's Thomas. Yay! Well, I got your symbol, Thomas. Now if I can get you in here or see you.
There he is. Well, sort of.
Well, that's what's on my screen now. That's what I'm waiting for his picture to come up on his camera.
Fire mechanics likes the Spy Cat.
I got your icon up, Thomas, but I'm not seeing you.
Just woke up and is watching. Try not to scare him.
All he has to do is look at me. He's going to be scared. Thomas, I don't know what to do. I got you in here. I got your symbol in here. Come on over here, Helga. You can entertain them for a while. You can talk to the folks till I get it all figured out.
I had video working earlier. Not sure why not now.
Oh, so that's on his end. Come on, you can come in here and talk to him. Thomas, turn your camera on, Drew says. What?
Nothing. I'm just this is just not so easy. Last night on
well, it's just that somebody's usually don't work. I mean, that's the problem. I mean,
well, they were trying to walk Gator through it last night, and
Well,
That was
Thomas has it.
entertaining.
He knows how to do it. All he has to do is, but
Get it to work.
yeah. Because I have his icon up here. It's just a matter of getting him on.
What's up, Mike? How's it going? Snap-on tool review.
Hey man, how are you? Snap-on tool review. That should be Joel. That's all I know. Oh no, he dropped out. He's gone. He's probably trying to reboot or something to try and get started, is my guess. We got the viewers and no Thomas.
Our mechanic says it's the only wine he likes. And Snap-on tool review says good, bro. At least I can read the chat for the while.
All right, I'm just gonna have to wait for Thomas to try and get back in here. So happy friggin' Friday to you too. How's the new job going? We're trying to wait for Thomas to get back in here. I don't know what he's doing. Hey, thank you. Do you know who Mr. SMG 103 is? Us.
But it's Saturday.
I guess for some of us, right? You forget that you have
People
all over the world watching. Other than Thomas being missing, how's the stream? How are you guys seeing it? Does it seem all right, or just curious? I'm not gonna be able to do much about that either, but
There you go, Sma. It's cool that Badger could be in here tonight.
yeah, it's showing up a little blurry on my end too. I don't know if that's the camera.
That's probably a good thing. It's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah, there you go. Picture on Instagram of the quality. I don't have Instagram, so
I'll check.
yeah. Well, hey, if I'm blurry, I'm blurry.
That's our too.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's not as though I'm really showing anything. So let me see if I can adjust anything on it. Thanks for hanging in, guys. I know it's just sitting around here waiting for something to happen.
Oh yeah, okay.
What? Your picture?
The picture that's showing there, that's you. That's the picture that Badger's saying he took a picture of to show you the quality of what they're seeing.
Yeah. So what does it look like? I got my glasses off. Christ, everything's blurry to me, woman. Holy shit. Oh, sorry. It's the booze. Yeah, it's the booze. It's the booze making me blurry. That's what it is. Don't be drinking my frigging wine. This is mine.
Okay.
Well, I haven't left from over here.
Okay. Okay.
My wine. Oh my God.
There's better. Wyatt noticed the sweatshirt.
Yes, we're color coordinated and South Main Auto coordinated. So I don't know anybody else. Anybody else want to try and join the chat since we lost Thomas?
Thomas is restarting his PC.
Okay. All right. We'll wait for you, Thomas.
Oh my
No
God.
problem.
Red wine
Oh,
make me feel so fun. I remember that.
It's not as no, it's sort of blurry, but
Wyatt says he needs one.
one what? Oh, a glass of wine or a shirt? What are we talking about? How are you? One auto checking in. Thank you for coming aboard. We're waiting for Thomas to reboot his PC. The world of electronics are great. That's cool. That's cool, Joel. You got to do a little of both.
Multitasking at its finest.
Okay, when you say it's won't connect with your phone either, you mean to the link or which, Thomas? Because like I said, you were connecting to Hangouts. All I saw was your icon though. So 23. Oh, some people I know their names and some I don't. Sorry, so I just got to call you by your handle. But yeah, you have to be. Oh, won't let him do it even when he presses the link with his phone. I don't know. I've done it before with sending that out, and it was never a problem. Let me try and send you the link one more time the other way and see what happens. And it'll probably be through Google Plus. All right, it has your name and it's showing the Google Plus icon, so I guess it'll come through Google Plus, Thomas.
In the house.
I posted it to Google Plus. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Hanging. Okay. All right.
Thought you were a beer man. What happened? He's an equal opportunity man.
Well, I can really tell you this. I can tell you the story. All I have right now is my Overbite IPA, which I really like, but I'll put it nicely. It's giving me some gastrointestinal problems. It seems like it doesn't like me. Lager that I normally drink, I don't have any here. So, and I'm all out of Jack Daniels, and I wasn't going to drink that again tonight because I had enough last time. I'll put it to you that way. We'll just stop at that. So
I'm surprised One Wild isn't in here. Yeah. Well,
6 tins in Bud Light. I don't know if it's your camera that's blurred or me. No, it's the camera. Well, and maybe you.
I was gonna say, is the camera lens clean? Maybe. That's a call coming in to you on the computer of that.
I turned you off.
You have way too many electronic gadgets. He doesn't even know when. He has so many. Sam Davis.
Yeah, come on over. Yeah, the manly beard. Yep, my old 2.5-year-old nephew Says he calls me Santa Claus. He thinks that's pretty neat. Yeah, that camera is blurry. I don't know why that is. It wasn't last time. Not too sure. All kinds of technical difficulties with this live stuff. Yeah, Thomas probably should update from that Windows 95, but
Santa.
yep. Ho, ho, ho.
That does not make me Mrs. Claus.
Move my camera away here. And so blurry because it actually on my screen, it you know, when it's going over the air because it doesn't look too bad here. So, Thomas, I sent you another invite. So,
Mark Winfield. I can't go up here to 41.
Joel, you guys are making me want to drink. Are we that bad that we make you want to drink?
Sort of a bummer. Maybe if we drink more, it'll be more entertaining.
Oh well, that is blurry. I don't know what the heck. I don't know if it's my computer or what. It's all right.
I thought it was the best one we had.
Hey, let's see. Not smells visual. Drink up. How about it? Hey, Steve Rob, are you still in there? Okay, well, Thomas said he had to do a hard shutdown. He's starting up now. So
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
yep. I figured that, Joel. I was just being me.
Thomas had a turbo to that thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a Friday night, and I'm actually off for once.
Well, yeah, and actually, you know what? I do be close, and when I walk over to that computer, I mean walking into it, so that probably is part of the problem.
You think backing it up maybe would that help?
Well, yeah, it'll probably shut everything the hell down. Hard reboot. Yeah, we'll put Helga more in the picture.
Gee, thanks.
Everyone wants to see her anyhow. Yeah, that's what I thought for a mechanic. You know, last time I did it, I thought it was relative. It was pretty clear. So yeah, now it went out of focus again just from there. So see if it straightens out.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Oh yeah, that's Helga really likes the. That's why I brought her on since we're waiting for Thomas here.
I'm just filler.
Hey, Super M.
I wasn't supposed to be here.
That's what I told her. I said, Helga, I said, whip something up quick. We don't have Thomas. I said, maybe go get something. I don't care.
You'd be getting some kind of salad.
Oh, well, yeah, you know that, Wyatt. After my second glass of wine, I'll be going to. Well, Helga and I will tag team it. We'll take turns
I
going.
was gonna say he always puts me in when he has to go to the bathroom. So
Yep, she's my pinch hitter.
I'll babysit.
Switch hitter, pinch hitter, whatever
Don't
you
say
want to
switch
say.
hitter, just say pinch hitter.
Hi, Doug. For anybody who doesn't know, we're still waiting for Thomas. He's having computer problems, which of course, when you're doing a live stream, that's going to happen. But I tend to be anyhow, so.
Oh, you're not doing that. Are you doing that on Chrome?
Yeah, it's all on Chrome.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if you need Chrome for Hangout or not.
I think I'm back. I can
Oh,
hear.
there he is. I heard him. I heard him. I don't know.
No video though.
You're in, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out.
I think I'm back.
I don't see you yet, but you're trying.
Yeah, no, I can hear myself through your speaker. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can hear you on the live stream. I'm just not getting your picture up.
Yeah, I mean, I can see myself on the preview, but I don't see myself in the Google Hangout. That's weird.
Drew says he needs to attach a scanner to his computer.
It's pretty much the same concept as I chat with my brother in Montreal using my cell phone, but the PC here is giving me some kind of issue.
Well, you can. Did you get an external?
Oh,
there
here
you
we
are.
Yay!
Hey.
Finally.
Okay, Thomas is in the house finally.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi.
My stupidity, but what is Thomas? EX.
EXOVCDS. Yeah. That's one of the biggest questions, I think. Let me just rearrange my browsers here so I can see you guys better. Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
I need to. I'm looking at.
And if you have.
I'm looking at 2 monitors. I need to make sure that I see you guys in one of them. 1 second.
The only thing I was going to say is, if you have the live stream up, you'll have to turn that down, or at least mute it, because it'll come through back behind you when you're trying to talk.
That's true, and it's actually more distracting as well now that I think about it, because it's constantly switching back and forth here. So I'm gonna turn that off, and I'm just gonna look at the Google Hangouts. So, okay, that's it.
Okay, and the Hangouts will switch. I don't know if you can stop that. So the picture when I'm talking, and that's what people are going to be seeing. When you talk, you'll come up. And if we both try to talk, then it's fighting it, and we're jumping in and out of the screen. So, to try and give the other person the leeway.
No problem. Understood. Yes, it's just like walkie-talkies, and I'll just pay attention to, like I said, the Hangouts video, which is stationary now. When I'm looking at the screen, I'm just seeing you guys. I obviously don't see myself unless I look down at the corner of the screen. But the thing I don't see right now is the chats, the YouTube chats, because I had to close that window down, or I should open it up again, unless we have Helga reading everything, and then I'll just pay attention to the screen. Well,
actually, the best way to do that is you can open the chats up in another window, actually, and then turn the sound off of that computer. Then you can actually do, if the screen and watching it on another computer is distracting, pop out the chat. That's all you'll see in that window. And if you turn the volume down, then you won't have a problem.
Well, hold on, my boss is actually on the phone. 1 second.
It's live! It's live! It's live!
Yeah.
Listen, Mike, email me your address and I'll send you a sticker. What color do you want? Red, blue, green, or orange?
Yeah, it was on. Yeah.
You want something to contrast to the red toolbox, so I vote green.
Okay, that's it.
Green, Joel. Thank you.
I'm turning down his contrast, but I don't know if he can figure that out.
What, you say you don't like that, Steve?
No, his face is red.
Maybe he's drinking. You got to leave for work, Thomas.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I just hung up on my boss there. He was just asking about a car that they just finished up on. But I'm just bringing you up, or the YouTube channel up on my other monitor. But I'm just trying to see how I can arrange it so I only see the chat and not the video. Because otherwise the video is distracting.
Go to upward on the live chat. There's 3 little dots.
Yeah. Oh, pop-out chat. There we
Open
go.
that and you'll see pop out, and
Yeah.
I think the pop out will take up your whole screen.
I got it. Okay.
Nothing to it.
Learn something new every day. And again, my apologies for not jumping in right at the beginning because I wasn't even watching the YouTube channel. I was in Google Hangouts with the screen in front of me, waiting for it to ring. I had no idea that you had.
Oh, that went this way.
Yeah. So, anyways, I
All
can
good
read
now.
the comments
All
now. And I'm empty.
What are you having? Anything good?
I was chocolate milk.
Oh, geez. We're drinking wine, and you have the chocolate milk.
Yeah. The booze. Well, it's only 4 o'clock, not even. So I don't start drinking till after 6 or 8.
I still don't see your point.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, forgive me. I'm just gonna go read through some comments, unless there was something that stuck out already that somebody needed to know something. But then again, I'm not really here to answer tech questions either.
Yeah, I have questions for you. They're not tech, and it's only a couple. And if there's anything you don't want to answer, just say I care. I prefer not to answer that.
Sure, go ahead.
No, go ahead if you want to read the comments. They had anything for you? They were just wondering. So
That's for Thomas.
Yeah, Rob is asking if my boss is watching. No, he has no clue that I'm live streaming right now. So he was just asking about a car. I left early today. Every second Friday I get off early, which is nice. But there was a car that I was working on that the customer wanted some more work done, so they brought the car back in, and they didn't know if the ABS light was on before or not, and I told them yes, it was. So it's nothing that they did, so they just wanted to know if it was or not.
okay, somebody wants to know your bio, but before we get into that, I just want to say, I want to give a channel, what it is, what you do, and then I want to give some of my comments on the channel, if that's okay.
Sure, much appreciated. And first of all, thank you for inviting me here and hosting the live chat. So much appreciated. First things first, the Thomas EXOVCDS. EXOVCDS was just a nickname, or how you assign your computer a name. I had a laptop several years ago that was an EXO PC, it was called, an EXO PC. And then I needed a username, so I figured, well, I'll just use EXO, and I'll use VCDS from, obviously, Rostec VCDS, the VAGCOM software. And that's how EXOVCDS came about.
Okay, little bit about what you do on your channel and what you work on specifically.
Mainly Volkswagen and Audi. We do work on other things as well, whatever comes in the door, basically. But since we're pretty much known for Volkswagen and Audis, that's pretty much all we see mainly.
Yeah, it does.
And then I just want to make my comment on your channel. I don't think in my life I'm going to work on a VW or an Audi. I'm not sure, but I doubt it. But I enjoy watching your channel, and I'm the type of person that I don't care what the person is working on, because a lot of the vehicles are the same to a certain point. Always going to learn something, a shortcut that may be similar vehicles and stuff, and I like the way that you present it.
Oh, thank you very much. And I actually I shouldn't say proud of myself in terms of, but I think I'm the first one to film via video glasses, and has been doing it consistently like that for 3+ years. So that's the main thing that I'm sort of I guess proud of, that I started that trend, and not that anybody else is doing it right now, but I'm sticking with it. And like I said, it's an easy way for me to record and work at the same time. And then and it's because of the point of view, from my video glasses, I think that's the best way to see something. But a lot of people are having a hard time with it, unfortunately, because they get motion sickness.
So do you use, is yours Google Glasses, or what do you use?
No, these are just small generic glasses. The Google glasses are way too expensive. These ones, you've got the the camera right in the middle, right above the nose bridge. So they're really handy, and they come in. You get lenses, different lenses. You've got clear ones for obviously shop use, and you've got tinted ones that I use when I go outside and bike ride, etc. So I think I have a link somewhere in my in one of my videos for similar glasses, which people can look at. I'm actually looking for a new replacement set because these guys are pretty old, but they're hard to find. You know, the good ones, I mean.
Well, and what I like is, I mean, I knew type of glasses and not doing it with a camera, of course, just by the way you were doing it. Also is you keep, and there's not a lot of people doing it, so I really can't judge, but it's the way that you keep on it. Your head's not going all over, and it's you keep it there, and it's think it would be to watch your videos with the glasses on. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve. I mean, in the beginning, I moved my head quite a bit, and going to the toolbox and then quickly panning back. And I've stopped doing that because I've realized, and I've read comments, people didn't like it. So now when I edit my videos, I only edit, or I try to keep the scene in the same place. So rather than turning my head to grab a screwdriver, I'm already back at the shot with the screwdriver. Just one quick thing here. Wyatt was saying that VCDS, he thought that it stood for Vehicle Care Diagnostic Systems or something like that, which it does. I basically broke it up into on my main channel. It says Vehicle Care or something like that, and Diagnostic. I even forget myself. I had to do that because I didn't want VCDS coming after me, right? So on my main channel on YouTube, it says EXO Vehicle Care Diagnostic and Service or something like that. So
it's sort of funny you say that, because one of the only people that picked it up, my main email that I use is MFLSTC, and Wyatt's the only one that picked up what it meant, and it was basically, I added some letters to it for the same reason, because I didn't want to get caught for copyright infringement.
Yeah. And otherwise, though, the audio is coming in through. It's not too loud. I got a brand new mic here, and like I said, my camera is new, so I hope all of that is coming in nicely.
Or we were blurry to people here, and we told them either they were drinking too much or we were drinking too much. I don't know that it was blurry, but I have my glasses off, but looking at you on my screen, it looks pretty good, and it sounds good here. Okay,
good stuff. Steve wants to know if my glasses are the same that Texas Viking has. Texas Viking has Wing Wang glasses. Mine are also made in Wing Wang, but they've got the North American trademark on there, or a name brand, so I'm paying quite a bit more. Mine are $159, and I think Texas Viking paid under $50 for his.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He does it too. His quality is decent too from watching his vids.
Yeah, for the money that he said he spent on them, that video is not bad at all. But mine, like I said, it's fairly good quality. I'm shooting at 720p, 60 frames a second, but when I upload it, it's down to 30 frames. Sorry, I almost lost track of what I was going to say. Like I said, I'm looking for. Oh, here's the other. These are the guys I view. These guys sent me a pair to try, and they're exactly the same as the ones that I have currently, but the video quality is slightly different. And although the stuff can be adjusted in settings, I can't get the quality to the same as I currently have. So that's why I'm not really using these guys right now. But there is a link on my channel somewhere to these guys here, and if nothing else is available, those are the ones that I'm going to continue buying then at that point, because they suit me fine, they work fine.
Cool. I don't know, we have anything going on in the chat room that anybody's asking anything before I ask another question or two?
I'm just scrolling up myself as well just to see.
Helga's sort of keep an eye on the background here. If anything pops out that anybody wants to know, she'll yell it out. the chances of you going to Auto Mechanic Chicago this year? Or do you even know about it?
No, I don't go to trade shows unless, or any type of tech shows unless it's local. Right now, I can't even leave the country because I don't have my permanent residency card in order. I'm still a German citizen. Here's my nice little passport. But I have to get that Canadian what's it called? A permanent residency card. I have to get that done every 5 years, and I forgot about it last year. So I'm waiting for it, because if I don't get it for this summer, I can't go down to Eric the car guy meet.
That was actually my next question to you, if you were going to go. And on my live stream that I did with Eric O there in New York, we were talking about that, and I haven't seen anything having it yet this year. If anybody has, please correct me, but I've been watching his newsletters, and usually in February he would put out and start asking who was going to come and stuff. And you can, Eric O had asked me, but you can go to his blog, and he has it on his blog, and that's where he has his newsletters. So you can go into his blog and read his newsletters. Newsletter said was he wasn't sure he was going to do it this year out there, having smaller ones around the country, because people didn't get to actually. And then March's newsletter had nothing mentioned about it. So I really don't know what is for it this year.
Well, worst comes to worst, we just meet up at your house.
And that's well and good. We've been talking about that. I mean, we've been talking to Eric O sort of about doing it and stuff, but everybody's place just seems too small. But 20-acre farm with a mobile home on it, we can all go out there and party and just sleep in that.
Yeah, I'll bring a tent. But like I said, the first thing I gotta do is make sure I get the my card. Is once I have my card, I can go anywhere. It's actually, I can leave the country. It's coming back in. That's the issue. So as long as I have that card, everything's gonna be fine. There's a question, where am I from? I'm originally from Germany. I moved to Canada in 1982 when I was 11 years old. My mother remarried, and she moved 5 kids and herself to Canada. So I've been living in Canada since.
I know that you are talking about doing a live stream on, and I just wondered what your plans are for that. If you want to share what your topics may be. I know you really didn't. I don't think you really wanted to make it a car diagnostics type thing, but just sort of what you were planning on with that.
Yeah, I'm just, last week I mentioned that I'm going to hopefully do a live stream every Sunday, and then I figure I post the videos early, and then I give a chance for people to watch the videos, and then after that have host a live chat in terms of just, talking about the videos or answering some questions. But it's, I don't work well under pressure, so specific car questions right off the bat, and that I have to answer or on the fly, it's not really that, it's not in my comfort level. So I'd rather just talk about the videos because they're fresh in my mind, because I just finished editing them, but otherwise, as long as the question is simple, sure, I can answer it, but if it gets into specifics, I don't know all my stuff like Humble Mechanic does,
Well, and the other thing is too, depending on what it is, as well as I do, in the live chat, when you have a question, you may have to go and do a little lookup to find the exact answer, or exactly what the answer may be. Where when you're on the fly, it's hard to do that. Sometimes you just can't do that.
No, exactly. I mean, I get tons of questions through YouTube and Instagram, etc. People wanting to know stuff about their car or whatever, and it gives me the opportunity to look it up and then reply back. And I do that fairly quickly. Within the day, usually I'll get back to them. But yeah, on the fly, there's too many variables. With trying to figure out what the problem is. And that's the other thing. You can't hear the car, you can't see the car, you can't smell it. So that totally takes away from the diagnostic side of things. You know, when you have it in your hands, you can see it, hear it, smell it. Right away, you pretty much know what the problem might be. Whereas with a keyboard, there's a lot of guessing going on.
And I just actually had a question like that from some guy, and he was saying about his car was stopping going down the road and it would just die and then it would restart. And he goes, "You have any idea what it may be?" And I said, "Gee, I'd like to see it." He said, "Well, some people say it's the fuel pump." Well, the thing that got me was, he says, "Well, when it's doing it, you know, the dash will light up like a Christmas tree and lights will be flashing and all this and that." Well, maybe it was because it had stalled and the lights were just coming on. But the way he made it sound, it was like the lights were like flashing and then coming back on like there was a short. And I said, "The way you're talking, it may be a short." And what was the fuel pump? Well, just like you said, without seeing it, I was focusing on the electrical because I was thinking that was what the problem was.
For sure, yeah, and exactly, and stuff like that. You can come across as being an idiot in their mind, you know, because it didn't help. That wasn't it. It was something else. So at that moment in time when you asked me, that was my first instinct. That was my first reaction. You know, had I thought about it longer, I may have come up with something else. So people always think that I have the answer right away, you know, but that's not the case.
And the case that I talked about, I think that's one of those that if I'd have been in the car and seeing it, I went like, "Oh yeah, that's because it's stalled." But just the way he was focusing on it and talking about it, so it's just one of those things. But I know what you're saying about trying to do it on the fly, and you know, you'd like to make a proper or good diagnosis. Also, you don't want to go on a wild goose chase.
No, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked here. I think somebody said something about "sorry, Steve." What was that? Is he leaving already?
It's about meet up.
BMW bill is going fine, Wyatt. Thanks for asking. Same as always, still too chicken to floor it, but it's going to be a tire smoker sooner than later. And somebody wants to hear some German. Oh, you want to hear a German joke?
Sure, go ahead.
Let me think of one. Hold on. Okay. Der kleine Peter hat ein neues Dreirad und dann fährt er mit dem Dreirad um das Dorf herum. Dann kommt sein Freund Rudolf vorbei und sagt, "Du, lass mich das mal fahren." Dann sagt der kleine Peter, nee, du klaust mir das Dreirad, wenn du das fährst. Dann sagt er, nee, ich bringe es gleich zurück. Dann sagt er, okay, dann fahr halt los. Nach 5 Minuten kommt er nicht zurück mit dem Dreirad und dann fängt er zu weinen an. Zu der Zeit kommt dann der Pfarrer vorbei und sagt, ja, warum weinst du denn? Dann sagt er, ich habe einen fahren lassen, der kommt nicht mehr zurück. Ha.
Wyatt probably got it. Wyatt, did you get that? Did you follow it all?
Yeah. No, and see, the thing is, when I speak German off the fly like that, it's a high German mixed with my low German. There is a huge difference in dialect, and so if I spoke it in my true Southern dialect, it would have come across a lot smoother in terms of less stuttering, etc. If that made any sense. It was basically about a little kid with a new bicycle, and his friend wanted to borrow it, and then he borrowed it and he didn't bring it back. So then the pastor came by and he said, "Why are you crying?" He said, well, in German, when you fart, it says that you let one ride, basically. So he said, "I let one ride and he's not coming back." But it's like you farted and it's not coming back.
My grandparents actually spoke Low German.
Low German, yeah.
So.
Actually, the Snap-on tool review says, "Oh shit, my Google Translate." Ha ha ha! When you were telling the joke.
Opening my own shop? No, I don't think I want to do that. Not at this point. That's too much of a headache right now, from what I see my boss going through. You know, all the logistics, parts, etc. deliveries and whatnot, dealing with customers that don't have the money, you know, that's too much of a headache for me. I don't want to open up a shop yet.
But you do, and if you don't mind me asking, I know you don't really say about where you work and stuff, but it is more like an independent shop than a dealership, correct?
Yeah, it's an independent. It was father and son owned for the last 15 some odd years, and the father retired, so now it's just the son that's running it. The son's been there for over 25 years. Over 28 years. I've been there 25 years this year.
Wow.
I should probably know more than I do, but again, it all stems on, it's as with anything, you learn from where you know, when I started there, I was the young kid, and we had a lot of the older guys, and back then everything was distributors and points and whatnot. So I just learned from that. And then as the electronic stuff came in, by that time I already did the apprenticeship, so there was no more schooling for me to do after that because I already had my license. There was no need to go back to school. But the point is that once the new stuff came out, we didn't see it for quite a while, at least 10 years later. And so I consider myself to be behind the times right now. And that's why internet and YouTube is great. I just watch all these videos, Scanner Danner, subscribe to him, Eric O, obviously. Learn a lot watching from those guys. But the problem is running your own channel, there's not much time to keep up with everybody, right? You know that too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I like to watch a lot of channels, but you know, I have it pared down to just a certain number that I can get in and watch, and a lot of times comments, I go in and watch, and I try to watch most of it, but there's just so much you can watch, you know.
Exactly, you know, and it's the sad, not the sad part, but it's, I don't want to leave somebody disappointed, you know, and they're subscribed to me and I'm not watching their channel, or they get the idea that I'm not watching. So I always try to leave a message and watch as often as I can. But you know, sometimes a video does get missed, and then I feel bad. Steve wants to know when I'm retiring. Yeah, as soon as he makes room in the basement, I'll move in and I'll retire.
You may like this. Today I was when I was at work, I actually I was sort of watching Twitter and stuff like that rather than doing my actual job. But anyhow, the one guy said, he put it on Twitter that he just got done with the Golf and there was a wiring problem in it. And I said, yes, I said, I just got done with a golf cart, I said, and I was working on the horn on it. And he came back and he said, yes, well, that probably had more torque than the one I was working on. Amusing.
So I'm just reading some more comments here.
Oh yeah, Bill. Yep. Hi, Bill. Anybody in the chat room? You have any questions for Thomas? I mean, that was most of mine. I figure that it could just be an open chat. I mean, you know, as far as his so been there, not to give your age away, but like, was that your first mechanic's job and then apprenticing there to get where you're at now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Out of high school, I went and looked for a job and ended up being a parts driver for the local Chevy dealership. 6 months of doing that, I figured, well, because they told me, yeah, we'll eventually get you into the Bay. And after 6 months, I said, no, I'm tired of driving parts trucks. So then I went knocking on doors, and this little shop, and where I'm at right now, they hired me pretty much on the spot, and because my resume said that I spoke German. So it is a German owned, or was a German owned business, and they saw that, so they gave me a shot, haven't looked back since, so, or haven't done anything else since. A lot of guys will work multiple jobs over the years, you know, so in a way I'm missing out because that's all I've been doing over the last 25 years. But in a way it's actually good too, so it all depends on how you look at it, you know.
Well, he runs the independent shop like Eric O, that you get to see almost every and all brands in a way, because then you get to see them. So there's just so much more you have to learn and know by doing that, because there are so many makes and models, and everyone's not the same. Your models change some year to year too, but I bet it sort of stays.
But pretty much, yeah, exactly. And I've always said it in the past too, in comments or whenever I talk to people who work in shops that service anything and everything. Those guys are top-notch techs, because they can handle pretty much anything. And because of and their mentality is, you know, they're used to diving into the unknown, whereas me at work, you know, if it's not a Volkswagen, it's not that I get chills or anything, but you know, it's a comfort level. It's not there for me, right? Because it's not something that I see on a daily basis. And Volkswagen has been keeping things simple, you know, 4-cylinder engines in all their cars basically up until the last 10 years. Now then they start going nuts with different stuff, and things are getting more complicated. So actually,
the first experience I ever had with a VW was, father had a 71 square back wagon. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it's like one of those a Type 4 almost. It looks Type 3 or 4, something like that.
I knew nothing about the VWs. I mean, I was probably only 12 or 13, but thing was a beast. I mean, it was a neat little car.
Mm-hmm. We had one of those in Germany that I remember. It's a cool looking station wagon. And I think one of the ads here, wasn't it that, what's that famous actor's name? The guy who did with Tom Cruise, the Rain Man, what's his name? Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I think one of his first ads was the engine's in the back. So he opens up the back trunk and there's no engine, but you have to take the engine lid off too to see the engine.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I've got a red seal. Yes, Drew. Red seal is my qualification, my certification. It's basically a little diploma with a red seal, and they call it the red seal.
And that's for to say that you're an auto mechanic, or that you can do auto mechanics,
yeah.
or
yeah, pretty much all the trades, they have a red seal, and then with that document or certification, I can work anywhere in Canada supposedly. And we do have the opportunity to do ASE certification as well, which I still want to do, but because of the time and effort involved, and you know, you have to go to the training center to write the test. You can learn online or whatever, but you have to go write the test at this designated facility. It's a bit of not a pain in the rear, but I definitely want to do that, because it's more certification that verifies that I know something, you know, whereas right now I think I know something, but once you have certification, you can show people, hey, I know this, right?
Well, you can get into it with that ASE with different people about their opinions on it. That's for sure, because I've heard different ones. But most colleges give it, and guys who, when they went and took it, I just took 2, but some of those guys, they'd sit down and they do like 9 of them or whatever, all in one shot while they were there. I couldn't do it. I mean, it just, you know, tests in a row for me to do 9 of them. By about the 4th one, I'd be crashing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. I wouldn't have the smarts to do all of them, obviously, at this point, because lots of stuff is not fresh in memory right now in terms of, you know, the theory and everything behind whatever the system you're working on. But like I said, I wouldn't mind doing them just for my own reassurance that I know things, you know. It's what's the old saying? I know a lot about I know a little about a lot of things, but what you really want to know is you want to know a lot about one thing, right? And that's what those diplomas are. The AC certifications is they break it down into classes, and then you know this, you know this, you know this. But I know enough, obviously, to get by at the shop, and work is work, and it's been going fine. But like I said, the only way to know if I really know what I know, or if I know enough, is to have those up-to-date certifications, right? In my mind, at least.
It's a good gauge, but you know, I won't get into it, but I've got into it with, you know, some mechanics who don't have it, and you know, if they say that if you can test good and you can study good, you're going to pass them, you know, or you can pass them with never even putting your hands on a vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
Question, the red seal. What did you have to prove, or how did you get the red seal? What did you have to know, or what did you have to show that you knew, or how did that work?
Oh, it's an apprenticeship, 4-year apprenticeship. So each year you go back to school for, I think it was like 6 weeks a year, and you do your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then at the end of that you write your trades ticket test. Basically, it was all just from what I remember, multiple choice type thing. So it is also similar to ASC certification, where you get the an exam, and as long as you pass the exam, that's it. But each year you had to pass the apprenticeship year before you could go on to your next year. And
well, that's probably sort of like, you know, our journeymen in the trades at work, you know, be it pipe fitter or whatever. You have to do your apprenticeship and then show competence in it. So I guess that's probably about the same thing.
No, exactly. That's exactly it. And then it's just that each province, or the red seal is supposedly across Canada, but I think there's one or other 2 provinces where they don't, or they have a separate system where they only, what's the word, recognize their own. Just really quickly, somebody was asking about the measuring value blocks. How do I remember them all? I don't. You know, I rely on the scan tool when going through the scan tool. Rostec will tell you under the measuring value blocks what they are, be it, you know, O2 sensor or intake air temperature sensor. If they don't know what it is, they'll leave it blank, and all you see is a number. So I don't know all the measuring blocks, but you do want to know certain ones, like block 32 is your long-term fuel trims. You want to make sure to check those out, and usually in measuring group 001, you got your short-term fuel trim. So it's just a matter of playing with it. Get to know your scanner, you know, and use it. The more you use it, the better you get at it. That's pretty much all I can suggest about that.
The Snap-on tool review, Joel said that he went through the same training in Canada that you did.
Oh yeah, and he's in Quebec. Yeah, exactly. So that's good to know. Except he had to probably learn it in French as well.
So you moved here. You actually moved to Canada?
Yeah, in 1982. So I was 11 years old. The family moved to Canada. I'm 46 now. So.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
I have a twin sister. I have an older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Wow.
Oh. Family.
Yeah, and my mother, she was in her 40s when she moved the family to Canada. So that was a huge, huge undertaking for her. And we left everything behind, you know. So that was a huge, it was a big step.
So I'm sort of curious. At one point you said something about the glasses and riding bicycle, motorcycle.
I've always wanted a motorcycle, but now that I've got the turbo and the BMW, you know, I have to first finish paying that off before I can get a bike. And going fast in the big BMW is actually safer than a motorcycle. So it's still in the works. I'm sure in the future sometime I'll get a motorcycle, but bicycle. I meant bicycle when I'm riding my bicycle. I use my video glasses.
Oh, that's cool. You ought to post a little bit of that sometime.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I post funny videos. I get thumbs down because they're expecting, you know, if I'm an automotive channel, I should post nothing but automotive stuff.
You know,
so,
and that's I've sort of got that too, and it's like, well, it's sort of like the Hangouts too. It seems some people like it, some people don't. You know, I've talked to other creators about it too that sort of cross their channels over, and I get a kick out of it. You know, you put a little 3-minute thing up. You, Badger, I don't know if it was Rick Affix and Steve Robb that did that one, and I think you were in dresses.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I laughed my ass off, and I don't care if it was an automotive channel or not. I love that. I mean, I really thought that was pretty neat. So it's sort of funny that you say that, because the one that I did when I was going to look at a vehicle, and I just threw it up about the covered bridges because I was going past them, and you never know how many people, you know, see it. And you're saying about thumbs up and thumbs down. Well, I got 600 people viewed it, but I got 86 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. So, and it wasn't because the vehicle I was going to look at. The mentions were on the covered bridges and stuff. So, I don't know. It's tough to please everybody when you have a channel. Pardon me.
No, that's pretty much exactly right. And people just, I don't know, some guys just take it too serious. You know, they figure if they're going to want to watch a certain video or a channel, that's all they want to see. But I just I throw some oddball stuff in there, just, you know, to mix things up a little bit. And it was fun for me to do that video, and it was definitely not what we initially expected to do, but it was fun regardless.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, and one of my favorites, and that's why I said it, you know, I watch all of them that you do, but you know, the one with Clyde, the one for Halloween, oh my God, I watched that thing like 3 or 4 times. I mean, I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah, no, and it was one of those, you know, and with them as well, the production, not the value, but the way they shoot videos, you can definitely tell, you know, that it's well thought out. There's certain scenes, I mean, with me and the clicker, he goes, oh, let's do one more from this angle, and then one more from that angle. And me at the time didn't really picture what the end result was, but once I saw the end result, and then the editing, them going underneath the door, you know, it all clicked. Oh yeah, you know, it's awesome that he thought ahead. Even the way he actually said it was that he'd rather take too much video, just in case, how did he word it? It's better to take more video than not enough, you know, because if you don't have enough video, you can't go back, right? So you might as well shoot from whatever angle, just for the hell of it, even if you don't use it. But if you do need that piece of video, at least then you have it. And it was awesome, yeah.
And Clyde does a hell of a job with that too, because, well, and I don't know who did it, Clyde, Tommy, or whatever, but you know, when you look at it, it's like, holy shit, Thomas is there. You know, I mean, this is so good that he's actually there. It was very impressive.
Yeah, no, and that was the whole idea in terms of the fun factor, is me being there all of a sudden without anybody knowing, right? They live just outside of the big city here, and it took me, I think, 40 minutes to get there, almost an hour, I think. And it was a nice drive, nice scenic drive, and I'm going to get back together with those guys one of these days, and we'll do something else.
Oh, okay. Well, then I misunderstood. I actually thought he pieced that together with you doing it somewhere else, because I didn't realize you guys were that close together. So that was, but it doesn't matter. It was still great editing, and it was still great either way.
Yeah, no, we were there, and there's some other videos that we shot for the shout out to Steve Robb, where we're cracking open a beer and I pop up behind them, you know. So it was all fun, and I want to find more YouTube guys, more YouTube creators in my area to collaborate with. Obviously, automotive related would be best, because I don't think there's too many makeup tutorials that I can take part in.
Yeah. Well, any other questions?
Hey Steve, I have no idea when. She emailed me saying that her Wi-Fi or something's not working. So I don't know if it's going to work this weekend or not, Steve. Unless you're hosting, you let me know then. Then I'll follow your lead.
Okay, there's a question for Thomas. Go ahead, let her rip.
Sorry, which one? Where?
Coming up, he didn't type it yet. He says he got a question for you. It's the last. It's the last one on our feed here.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, I got a question. Go ahead.
We're waiting. Well, I'm glad that you got your equipment all working and fixed, and the camera and everything, and just a blip more or less that you just had to reboot and it just froze everything up on your PC.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on initially. Like I said, it was my time 2:30. I was all ready to go. I was testing the camera. Everything was working fine. Even the microphone. I got this big microphone, old retro style. It's actually really nice quality sounding, or it makes me sound fairly nice. So, and then for whatever reason, it just wouldn't go. Okay, where can I find more information on tracks wiring? On how to use them or how to read them? I think I made a video about that, but it was really simple in terms of not very in-depth. Send me a message to my YouTube account or my Gmail, EXOVCDS@gmail.com, and then I'll get some info to you. I think Volkswagen has a self-study program for wiring diagrams. I think I have that, and I can send you that if you want. All data seems kind of vague on how the wiring schematics work. Yeah, so if you got that, just let me, or if you understood what I just said, send me an email, and then I'll get that to you. Least favorite Volkswagen to work on: Touaregs, big beasts. I don't like the big cars. Touareg or Q7, nothing of that. Like, I like the small stuff.
And what is the? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. What is the Touareg? Is that like an SUV style or just a big car? Or
yeah, it's the big SUV, 4-wheel drive. They have a new. I was at the auto show a couple of days ago. They have a new Atlas Volkswagen now, but I think it's just a rebadged Touareg with a little bit of a body change. Yeah, I just like the simpler stuff. You know, I don't like the 4-wheel drive. The Jettas and Golfs are nice. The little things, you know. And
I was just actually going to ask you that before you said it. I was going to say, and probably the 4-wheel drive is just another challenge that you have to get into.
Yeah, and you know, it's stuff, but a lot of the stuff is what's the word here? Reliable, I guess, because we over the years we haven't never really had any 4-wheel drive issues. Somebody actually earlier was asking about the diesel particulate filters. We haven't had any yet that really needed attention. Maybe that's because the dealer was taking care of them all, but for the most part, you know, we're just a service garage. We don't dive into a lot of heavy-duty repairs because most of our clientele, they just stick with maintenance, and I guess that's why the cars last as long as they do with no problems. But you know, on the internet and YouTube and stuff, I see all these videos about or articles about all these problematic issues with Volkswagens. We don't really see them, so I'm kind of surprised why. And I think it may have to do with maintenance. A lot of the stuff that other shops see is probably due to lack of maintenance. Hey, Ozstar is here. Atlas is an MQB platform, like a Passat Transface V6.
Glenn, we're not going to get into that yoga pants talk again, are we?
I'm ready.
Yeah, Rob. Good night, Rob.
Rob leaving.
Anyone else leaving?
All right, see you, Rob. Hi, Mark. But that's okay when you're talking about time, because I woke up at 12:44 my time this morning, and Thomas going live, even though he didn't want to.
That was one of my trial runs there. You mean when I accidentally went live and I shouldn't have, or I didn't plan on it?
According to you, I mean, I just woke up and I see this thing on my phone. It's like, oh, Thomas, and I'm going like, oh, well, I missed his last one when he did it. I thought, oh, I'll go see what he's doing. You know, it's like, oh no, guys, no, I don't want to do this. No.
Yeah, no, I was second guessing myself too. What did I do those 30 seconds before it went live? Was I picking my nose? Was I scratching my ass?
I'm not sure. I came in late, so maybe you were. I don't know.
No, I think I deleted that video fairly quickly too afterwards.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
I'll do that, Glenn. I'll check it out. I don't know which one that is. I try to keep up on them, but yeah. Hi, Keith. Glad to see you can make it. Anybody else has any other questions, or
They wanted to know what part of Canada Thomas is from.
Oh, I'm on the West Coast, Vancouver.
Vancouver? I'm pretty sure that's where the Hockey Hall of Fame's at. I think.
I'm not much of a hockey guy, so I don't think the actual, or I could very well be here. I don't know. I'm not a hockey person. I'm a soccer guy.
Vancouver, we talked about going up to it at one point, but because I think this is a 6 or 8 hour drive for us, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, it's definitely on the East Coast then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't Google it now. I got too many computers running that I don't want to make any of them crash by doing it.
It's up by Steve.
Oh, Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured Steve would chime in. Onboard Tech has a question for you in there, Steve. Sorry. I don't know if you see it yet or not.
I don't use Otis. No, that's a dealer system, and the dealer does make the system available to rent or to purchase, and then you buy a subscription to use it. But my boss does not do any of that, or you know, I don't know if he ever will. If there's something that needs flashing or computer, you know, reprogramming, he'll send it out. Otis is one of those. I guess Mike, if you haven't heard of Otis, it's a dealer software program that it's also guided fault finding type thing. When you hook it up, and it basically you follow the instructions that the computer gives you in terms of troubleshooting step by step. And we don't use that at work. We just rely on either previous experiences with other vehicles, or we just troubleshoot the old-fashioned way.
Now, is that, and you're right, I don't know anything about it. Is that VW specific, or is that for any make model?
No, Otis is the way, as far as I know, is Volkswagen and Audi, their service diagnostic software. There's a lot of people, even non-mechanics, that know more about some of this technical stuff than I do, simply because, again, I work in the little mom and pop shop, and I don't have access to or need to access any of the newer stuff on newer cars, because all we do is regular maintenance stuff. So,
Thomas, you just got a job offer.
Where is that?
I think it's for you.
Oh, how's New York sound?
When are you going out on your own and leaving that bus? How's New York sound?
Yeah. I'm waiting for my permanent residency card. Then I can leave the country. EXOVCDS, yes, that's the VCDS did originally come from VCDS, but on my YouTube channel, I said it was vehicle. What did I write down on there? Let me just see it by itself here. I should know this, what it actually is.
Onboard tech says nobody up there has a card, so there you go.
On my YouTube page, I said EXOVCDS stands for Exo Vehicle Care Diagnosis and Service. And like I said earlier, that's the only reason I labeled it such is to make sure that VCDS isn't coming after me. But that was my username for my laptop at the time. It was actually a touch tablet that I had 6 or 8 years ago, and that's where that EXOVCDS initially came from. Yeah, Badger, they're building the wall in the south, not in the north.
Anything else you want to bring up, or?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think the first 5 minutes I missed. So later on, when you close down the chat or the session, then I'll rewatch that, and then maybe I'll post a question in the comments or an answer to one of the questions. But no,
actually, Helga was watching them, so I mean, just so you came, you actually got on because everybody knew you weren't here because I was, letting them know you're having problems. So.
Yeah, no, it was all my fault. I should have had your YouTube channel open right from the get-go, because then it would have told me that, hey, you guys are waiting for me. But all I had was the Google Hangout.
I mean, it's a learning curve, Yeah, that's why I said you were expecting a call. I could have explained it to you a little bit better. I mean, I've done it before. Stuff I'm learning every time I turn it on, so. That's just the way it is. For next time, right? It's sort of like working on a car. Up the first time, which I usually do. Usually the second time I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll go better the next time.
Find the self-study programs for VW.
Where was that question? Oh, there it is. Yeah, where do you find the self-study program? Go to Irwin. VWIrwin.com, I think it is, and you can pay 30. Well, you can do a search on the web. There's a whole bunch of places that will have certain self-study programs, but if you want to get them direct from the dealer, $35 US. It's money well spent, and I do that myself at least a couple of times a year, and then I download whatever is the latest information. Let me just find the exact name of the place. Irwin. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. That's right. It'll hold.
Yeah, it was irwin.vw.com. You just create a free username or account, and then you log in, pay $35, and you have 24 hours to download anything and everything. I download like 9 gigabytes of information, and that includes like service manuals for most of the cars, lots of training, self-study programs, technical tips. I downloaded over 1,000 documents just on technical tips alone. I have yet to read them.
All I was going to say earlier was I was going to say to Onboard Tech that anytime he wants to come on for a live chat, he's more than welcome, but said he likes to keep himself hidden, so we're gonna have to do like Wilson on now Tool Time with Tim Taylor. Gonna have to get him a fence to hold up, so only his eyes are shown, and pull his cap down. So
no, I'm sure he'll come around. I mean, for the first year and a half, at least on YouTube, maybe even a full first 2 years, I never showed my face, and then all of a sudden I did that like little peekaboo where my face, I spot my face or something like that. I'd made a video that was kind of fun, and then I decided, well, what's the big deal, right? And then now I show my face everywhere.
We know, especially on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. Unless it's 318, right?
And okay, well, since you bring that up, I mean, I've heard you say it, and I know you've said it. Do you want to enlighten folks?
For the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 or even more years, I've seen the number 318 all over the place. You know, the normal thing is it's like your body internal clock. What time is it? You look at the clock or somewhere, and it's 318. So that happens, and I can understand that. But when I'm driving along and I happen to look over to the other lane and I look at the license plate, it says 318, or a customer drops off a car 604 318. Or the boss makes out an invoice and it says 318 after he gives it to me. You know, look at this. Or an odometer on my co-worker's car he was working on. He goes, here, come here, look at this, and it says 318. So it's freaky. It just shows up everywhere. And I think it stems from me owning a BMW 318. It was an 84 318 BMW. I drove it for 15 years, and I think that sort of embedded itself in my brain, and I just see the number lots of times, and that's why I post it on my Instagram every now and then.
Okay, I didn't know if there was any more significance to it than that or not. But.
According to Steve, there is, but I haven't found that young Asian woman yet.
Thomas, got any mechanic mishap stories from your shop?
No, I've actually been lucky. There was one time I almost took a hand off, but that was in the early years. I was raising a hoist. You know how you have the little lever that you pull on for the hoist to go up or down? So I was pushing up on it, but I was holding the door open with my other hand for some reason, and then I didn't realize that as the door was going up, it's hitting against my hand that's pushing the hoist up. So once those two made contact, the car kept going up, and I couldn't pull the handle down to stop the hoist. And then I started screaming and panicking. My boss came over, he grabbed the door and he yanked it out, and it bent the window frame like this from the force of going up. But the hand was fine. But that was the only thing really. Never dropped the transmission on my head or anything like that. No major cuts. I cut my head open one time, but that was bending down, grabbing something, getting up. And then there was a metal cabinet. The cabinet door was open and it sliced my head here. But super glue, the doctor super glued it shut. So it wasn't that deep.
Vehicles.
What's with vehicles?
Your family vehicles.
Oh, yeah. Volkswagen Jetta, Passat, BMW. My sister used to have a Volkswagen. She's gone to the dark side. She's got a Chevy, a Tahoe now, and one of those little vans, an Astro van or something like that. So, but we were mainly European, yeah. My dad actually drives a Ford Ranger, 2000 something.
Work on GM now.
Yeah. My sister lives 40 minutes from me, so I don't see them that often, maybe every other weekend. And they have their own guys that do the service center that they take the car to. They're fine with that, so they don't need me for troubleshooting. And I'm not going to drive all the way out there just to see what's going on and not have any tools with me, you know. And that's the other thing. A lot of people think, you know, I can do a whole bunch of stuff on my own away from work, but you know, all my tools are at work. I can't do anything else anywhere else.
Yeah, a lot of mechanics are like that. I mean, you have everything in your toolbox at work, and have to go there and try and pull out everything you think you may need.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. And then, or even having tools at home. You know, I have $80,000 of tools at work right now. I'm not going to spend more money on more tools at home. That's nuts.
Yeah. The being in front of the camera on YouTube, I don't know. It seems get in front of the camera like you. It just seems that people want to see that and see a personality rather than just watching feel that way or not. They want to know a little bit about you, and you know, I know some other channels, and I know I've mentioned Eric O, but you know, it's like he says, it's almost you know, the people want to see the kids, the people want to see, you know, Mrs. O, the people want to know some of that stuff.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of people get invested in the channel, right? And in the beginning, that's all you usually see is my black gloves and my arms, right? Because of the point of view camera. And I do understand that sometimes they do want to see the face and me talking into the camera like I am now. But you know, my channel, it predominantly is about repairing a vehicle, or at least I should say taking stuff apart, because I don't really show stuff, putting stuff together. And that's more of a liability issue, right? Because I don't want people to follow my steps and then screw something up and then I'm to blame. So, and the hardest part with anything anyways is taking it apart, I think. Putting it back together, actually no, that's not true. Taking stuff apart is the easier part. Putting stuff back together, that's the hard part. And that's why I don't show you know, the reassembly, because there's too many people that'll just take advantage in terms of blaming you because of their mistake. You know, how many people do you know don't even have a service manual, and then all they're doing is watching a YouTube channel to see what to do, you know, how to do a job. Oh, that's a timing belt video, 15 minutes. Okay, I can do that. And then halfway in, they realize, oh, it's over my head. So.
Well, there's some guys that don't seem to care about that, you know, rev up your engines, but we won't mention any names.
No.
But yeah, you know, and I've talked about that with some other people too. It's going to be the first one on YouTube, because you haven't heard about it, that's going to be sued because they did something and put it together, and somebody claims they followed their instructions and screwed their own stuff up. Now they want to blame somebody.
Yeah, no, and then again, that's the sad part, is because it's their own fault, though. You know, they want to blame somebody. That's an easy way out for them. But I think the way I do my videos, if you know, if people took the time to think about what they're seeing rather than complaining, oh, you're moving your head too fast. I'm recording the actual thing that I'm doing, you know, and if you just pay attention as to what I'm doing, you don't even have to see what I'm doing, just think about it, and then using a service manual that shows you the pictures and following the steps. I think, you know, if more people did that, I think the people would start realizing that point of view video for automotive repair is actually the best way to watch somebody do something. And yes, it has its downfalls because of the lighting, etc. But I think if with a little bit of thinking about what's going on, people realize that, hey, this might actually be beneficial.
Well, and that, yeah, and it's like me, I'm more of a hands-on person, and I can read the book for me, because I can read the book, and it may not make sense. You, or you've done the same procedure, I can go back to the book and all of a sudden I'm going like, he did that. Now I understand what the manual's saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that makes any sense to you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say, you know, the first thing first, if you ever want to work on a car, first things first, get a service manual. And then, you know, feel free to watch all the YouTube videos on how to do it to see those shortcuts. Because I'll do shortcuts that the service manual doesn't list. Just like torque specs, excuse me, torque specs are there. Yes, they're there for protection in terms of the fastener, and as well as safety. If it's not tight enough, it's going to fall off, or if it's too tight, it's going to possibly break. But you know, when you torque down an oil pan drain bolt, you know, to 30 Newton meters, you know, it's in the feel over time. You know the feel of it, right? But I list torque specs, even though sometimes I don't use the torque wrench, and then that's just more of a, not legality, but a courtesy, I guess, to those people that don't have a service manual. I'll spend the time to look up the torque spec in my video, and then I'll put that in there as well.
Yeah, I just, one of my videos, I got called out on that because somebody said, oh, well, I want the torque specs, and you should have given the size of the sockets you use. And part of the reason I stopped doing that was just for what you're saying, because on one video, I just happened to look at the torque spec wrong, and I said it was something more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, somebody told me about it, and I was glad that they did it in a very nice way, saying, you know, Mike, I did this and that was wrong. So I'm like, you know what? First man will look the torque specs up. Maybe you shouldn't be doing the job. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, that's right. You know, and then that's again also the legality thing. That's why with the installation part, I don't do, because just in case I do screw up, I don't want to excuse me, I don't want to screw up, and I don't want to tell people the wrong thing. It all, regardless, it ends up being their fault for not having the service manual. But because we're in North America, it doesn't matter. They can still get back at you, and you're the bad guy.
Exactly. And I mean, I have a huge disclaimer at the bottom of my in my description. I have a huge disclaimer, but you know, how much good would that do you when somebody's trying to sue you? And even if they don't win, you know, it still puts you through a bunch of crap just because of their did something wrong, which, you know, that it's all stuff to think about, because, you know, I think about that often when I'm doing the videos too.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, you know, you get the reviews on Google or on Yelp, you know, about shop reviews, and I think each shop has, you know, a good and a bad review, but it's the one bad review out of it. You could have 100 good reviews, but it's the one bad review that can make or break a business, you know. Same with YouTube channels. I screw up one time maybe, and then that could bring my whole channel down. And that's one of those. It's not a fear that I have. If that ever does happen, I'll find something else to do. But right now, because this is still a hobby at this point, I don't think I'll ever make enough money to actually do this full time. But it would be a nice goal to be able to rent a warehouse and work maybe 2-3 days a week, rather than work 5 days straight and then video edit for 2 days.
Yeah, well, and yes, I've noticed you have a pretty steady growth in your subscribers. It seems you've grown quite a bit. I don't remember when I forget numbers of when I stepped in, but I'm pretty sure you were 6,000 mark when I started watching your channel and subscribed, and without looking, I know you're well over 20,000 now.
I wasn't aware that you were watching back then already. Wow, you've been around a long time then. I didn't realize. I thought maybe only the last 3 years or the last 2 years.
Oh, that I actually was watching?
Yeah. Or
I'd have to go back and look. I don't know.
This is my 4th year, so I can't remember when I had 6. I'd have to look at the statistics myself, but it does, to me, it seems like a long time ago, because to me, the channel is growing slowly, which is nice. I don't want it to grow too fast, but on the other hand, you know, I don't know, everybody wants to have a big channel, a popular channel, but we'll see how quickly it grows. Time will tell. Sorry,
so you've been at it for 4 years. I had channel since this May will be 2 years. I thought I started watching you actually before I had my channel, but maybe I didn't. It's like I said, you know, different. And you know, I didn't mark down the exact number, but it seems like everybody that I did start watching, and I've been watching for the 2 or 3 years, are in the single thousands, 4, 5, 6, and now they've at least doubled. So
yeah, no, it definitely has been a steady increase, and I do have to thank all my subscribers for sharing and you know, sharing the videos, and I guess that's I think the biggest way, sorry, I always type for words here, or grabbing words. I think the word of mouth or sharing links is the biggest increase in my subscribership, and I think Instagram too now. Ever since I've been on Instagram, I think I've been getting more people. Somebody was just asking me how the baby sticker is going, if I had any comments yet about Charlie. Nobody's stopped me yet, but I've seen people smiling when I'm in front of their car idling and my car is a little bit noisy. I look in my rearview mirror and I see a smile on the guy behind me. So he must see the sticker on the back of my car. And you know the Charlie sticker I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Helga had Charlie stickers on the red beets and some of the other stuff that Wyatt got.
Yeah.
Charlie gets around.
Charlie's been around.
He's going to be a popular guy when he grows up.
Oh, he soon needs his own YouTube channel, I think. That should happen. And Thomas, I have to apologize. I didn't have one of your shirts. Put it on. I've been too cheap to buy one.
I don't have one of the stickers either because you hogged them.
Yeah, and she didn't get any stickers because I put that. You were one of the, other than my own. Yours was SMAs, and yours are about the only ones I have on my work toolbox.
I'll send you one of those Charlie stickers for sure, though. I don't think you've gotten one of those yet. So I got 500 of them, so I have to get rid of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Gators World's here.
So somebody asked a question. I don't know where it was. Helga picked it up, but it says, worst timing chain job you had.
Well, again, I've been lucky. We didn't really, the only ones we've been doing over the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years now was the VR6 chains. I've heard rumors of like, was it some of the FSI motors, the V6s, 40-hour timing chain job. I have yet to do one of those, and I don't think my boss would ever take that in. So I guess I'm lucky in that regard, that he would never take a job like that in. But just the regular VR6s, they're not too big of a deal. You just remove the transmission to do those. The timing chain is between the transmission and the engine on those vehicles, Mike. It's not a chain that's on the front of the engine.
Not a pretty job at all.
Like I said, that's not too bad. But you know, when you read about a timing chain job that takes 40 hours, you know, that's unbelievable, and it makes you wonder what engineers these days are thinking about when they make a car.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Why do they have to be made like that? I mean, why? I know there's some reason in an engineer's head, but
do you have or have you had an apprentice, Thomas? Yeah, we currently actually have one, and we've gone through several through the years. They don't all stick around for some reason. I don't know why.
And do you need, do they look for any qualifications now for the apprentice? Do they want them to have some schooling in mechanics, or?
Well, again,
would they hire somebody who seemed to have the, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but would they just hire somebody who seemed to have the actual, to be able to learn it and do it, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, it all depends on what the boss is looking for. There was a time when he didn't want to put up with an apprentice, and then we hired a guy who was he had his red seal, so to speak, and he was fully licensed. And that guy worked out for a year, and then he moved on. With regards to apprentice, as long as he has some basic hand tools, then the boss will be okay with him, you know. And again, it's a judge of character, right? Will he, as long as the guy meets his needs, he'll hire the guy, give him a chance. And like I said, we've done that several times over the last 10 years. And some guys don't stick around. We had one guy, he finished off his apprenticeship with us. And then a few years later, he wanted to open up his own shop, and he actually opened up his own shop, and he's doing quite well, you know, working for himself. A lot more work and a lot more headaches, but that's his comfort level. So, and the current guy, he's only been with us for a year, we'll see how long he lasts. He's going to school this November for his first year. Again, it all depends on when the school has openings. Sometimes you work more than a year to get until you get that time to go to school. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, you know, it's a tough thing to run your own business. I did it with a computer shop for about 5 years, and I was actually working my other job and working the 12-hour shifts and overtime and trying to run that, which didn't help. But you know, there's a lot to it, and it's like you said earlier. You know, some of these guys that do it, they take in any make, any model, and plus, you know, you're not just the mechanic either, or the person fixing this stuff. You know, you're a lot of times you're the bookkeeper, you're the person who cleans up, you're the person who orders. You know, it's just it's a tough racket. I really have respect for anyone who does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, every time the boss goes away for a week or whatnot, and I supposedly have to run, well, not supposedly, I do run the show. You know, it's difficult. I'm not used to the managing the phone, writing the invoices, and working on the cars at the same time. You know, I can't sit in the office and do nothing and wait until, you know, the other guys finish a job. If there's a car that's sitting waiting to be worked on, there's a need for me to go work on it, because that's all I've been doing, right? But then I start working on it, all of a sudden the phone rings, you know, and then you got to do this and you got to do that, and then order parts. So for me, it gets kind of stressful. But that's only because, again, I don't do it on a regular basis. If I did do it day in, day out, it would probably be a different story. But I still don't have any gray hair, so that tells you that my stress level is somewhat okay still.
I run into it because what I don't like about that situation, when you're like the only one in the shop and you're doing everything, is, and this is the part that I hate with my job, is you're doing something and somebody comes in and they want something, and somebody else comes in and they want something, and all of a sudden you go back to that job. Am I going to forget something because I got taken off of it?
Yeah, no, exactly right. You know, and that's the worst fear. How often there's been numerous times I come home sitting in or lying in bed, and all of a sudden eyes pop open. Did I tighten this? Did I tighten that?
Yep.
Somebody just wanted to know if I'm using genuine or aftermarket parts. Mostly aftermarket, OEM equivalent. But certain parts we do have to get from the dealer direct, simply because the aftermarket doesn't have it yet, well, I guess no, that's the main reason, because it's not available in the aftermarket. But most of the stuff is aftermarket parts, but they are OEM, and we'll get them even with the Volkswagen logos scraped off. So because they are still considered genuine, it's just that they're sold through the aftermarket.
So it's Golden Seal Mountain Lake board right now.
There you go.
That's actually from the Finger Lakes up by Idaho.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Reading through comments again, sorry.
That's fine. I just
But what made
did you
me
open the window back up or something? I hear a feedback.
No, there's you still hear a feedback? Or was that?
Nope, not now. There, I did for a little bit.
All right. One of the questions: what made you decide to make your first YouTube video? It was just one of those things where why did I make it? No, again, my wanting to help people, I think, is why I made my first video. It was just a day in the life type of thing, you know, working on a car. I'd have to go back to see which one was my first video, but it just, if you read my description too, it says so that my nephews see what their uncle does, and that was true too in the beginning, but that has also snowballed now. That it's more about, well, still showcasing what I do, but also helping, like I said, And that's why I answer a lot of questions, because I do want to help. I'm not like one of those channels where you just post videos and you don't communicate with people. I do try to answer all questions and interact with people.
I think that makes the channel more popular also, is when you actually do interact with them and get involved in the comments, and I think that's a pretty big.
Just makes it more personal.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem right not to respond, you know, and I can't see why. Obviously, if, let's say, you know, I had 100,000 subscribers and I got 1,000 questions a day, then there's no way I can keep track of everything. And at that point in time, it's totally understandable for somebody not to reply back in terms of a channel creator. But at this point, if I can, there should be no reason why I shouldn't, right?
Well, I agree. It's what I try to stay engaged too with, you know, with people and what they're saying and stuff. I think it's a big part. And like we had talked earlier, that's why sometimes I feel bad when I actually to watch the channels and comment as you should. You know, it's just the people know that you are watching their channel and stuff and commenting. So even, you know, that's more with commenting, but it's the same thing. It's all the interaction.
Mm-hmm. The cool part now is, you know, with the with our little so-called community, you know, we call it a community because we know each other now, or keep track of each other. But I've come across a video, you know, or a channel, and then I look in the comments, and all of a sudden I see a familiar name. So it's just totally cool how, you know, you go out in the middle of YouTube or into the vastness of YouTube, but yet you see the comments by fellow YouTubers. So that's kind of cool. Everybody seems to get around, you know, and they always said, you know, the world is such a small place because, you know, when you run into somebody, oh, you're from there, oh yeah, I was from over here. And the same with YouTube now. It's such a huge place, but yet we all find each other in comments everywhere.
Well, and I agree with that, especially with the thing about the community, because I just mentioned that to the other day. It's like we have, and I agree, there is a certain community with us in it, and you know, especially you do this live hangout, and you see the people that are in there, and it's like community that you're doing stuff with, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know, and the nice part is, you know, we're still tight knit. I think there's under 20 of us, 10 for sure. You know, that are close, tight knit. Oh, hey, Norm Smith is here. Norm is in the house. Oh, and I haven't been recognized yet, no. But I do, sometimes I put on my t-shirt with my logo, you know, just walking around to see if somebody does recognize it. I wouldn't mind being recognized. That would be cool.
And I'll tell you what, that's like when we were up at New York at the clinic that was up there, and I was with Eric O, and one guy came and he asked if he could sit down by us, and he goes, "Oh, I know you." And then he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, and I watch your channel too." And I'm going like, you know, Eric O, I can understand, but and it is neat when somebody actually does recognize you like that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I did get a couple other comments from people on the live video that they said, "Yeah, we were there and we saw you guys, but we didn't want to come up and say hi." And it's like, especially, it's like, why not? I'm just a regular Joe. It's no big deal. You know, it's a lot more for Eric than me, of course. But
yeah, no, Eric seemed overwhelmed at times, and he even admitted it, I think, in one of his videos. But somebody again was asking, Baxrock 2, I keep forgetting your first name, sorry. He's wondering if I'm going to ETCG. We were just discussing that earlier. We don't know if that's happening this year or not. I do want to go, but I'm waiting for my Canadian residency card, permanent residency card. I'm still a German citizen. You can see my German passport. But that's my old one. They take a corner out when it's expired. Once I have my Canadian residency card, then I can leave the country and I can re-enter the country. So as long as I get that in order, I will be going to ETCG this year, if and when it happens.
Keith, I was really popular, especially with the waiter who I was paying the tip to.
My name is John. Oh, hey, John. Yeah, I knew it was something with the J. If Eric doesn't do it this year, we'll figure something out.
I think we should all just go up to someday. We should just all go up to Eric O's garage and just all stop in. Then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just pick the day and go do it. About 30, 50, 100 of us, something like that.
I'll fly over to Steve and we'll drive across the border.
Any more questions?
You don't lay it for him.
Meet at Wyatt's farm. Yeah, Wyatt is a pilot. He can fly us.
Think the dogs are out there eating cat. Oh. All right.
Ivan's house. Yeah, Ivan's got a nice place too.
Hey Gator, howdy. Glad you could drop in. We'll just start it. Well, Thomas, anything else? I think I've asked you most of the questions that I wanted to ask. The feedback on our end here is very annoying for some reason.
Getting me a visa. That's nice. Somebody said just onboard tech said he's going to get me a visa to get into the country, I guess.
As a work employee.
Yeah, like I said, leaving Canada is not an issue. It's coming back in. That's the issue. So, but I should have that card within a month or so.
Hey, Thomas, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. And there's no echo when I hear you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's getting an echo here, and I'm not sure what's causing it.
Oh, it could be my mic then, no? If my mic is,
it would be your mic. If you have a window, if you have a window open that the video's playing in, it'd be feeding back through. I don't have anything else open here. We didn't change anything.
Let me see here.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Go here.
If you want, I can momentarily turn my mic off to see if that makes a difference.
I don't think it's your mic. It's you can if you want, but I don't think that's the problem. No, that's what I'm looking. I don't hear it now when I'm this close. Did you do anything, Thomas?
Nope.
Away from the camera, I don't hear the echo coming back through now. Aren't these live events fun?
My mic is ahead of the two monitors, and my speakers are fairly far away, at least 2.5 feet away from the mic.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Can you hear me okay, Thomas?
Yeah, perfect.
No.
He's talking.
Mic off, Thomas?
Whose mic is off? Mine is on.
I lost it now. That's why.
Thomas is good. Mike has it. Mike, it makes you sound like a god.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Trust me, he's not.
Let it be done. Let it be so.
I can't hear Thomas now. I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh, 318.
Sound up on this one.
What number is that, Steve? 70,000, 77, 93, 18. What is that?
I lost all sound now.
So the snow is long gone at your place, I guess.
Totally long gone.
Totally
Just we still have snow piles.
Yeah, and no flooding then too. I think on Instagram you were saying that there was nothing was happening there.
Rivers it rained all day today and stuff is pretty full, so there's going to be at least some minor flooding.
Still getting the echo. 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 I don't hear it now.
There's a question: do your kids show any interest in automotive field? I don't have kids, so do you guys have kids?
Yep.
Nope.
No kids here. My nephews, maybe you meant. My nephews, no, they want to also do YouTube. They want to become millionaires doing YouTube. And they probably will end up being millionaires before I will be. Steve, do the launch review.
Tell them where we're at. Yeah, there's still an echo. I don't think it's quite as bad, but I still do have an echo. At least I can hear you again, Thomas.
Good stuff.
Some are saying it sounds good. Some saying there's still an echo, so I give up.
No, I think that those were the earlier comments. I'm still wondering about the numbers that Steve posted. He posted some number with 318. I don't know what that was about. Screwing with me again.
Not Steve.
The green screen is there. I was hoping I would be able to do something interactive green screen stuff, but I don't know how to do it. In the long run, that's what it's for.
If you put a green shirt on, you won't show up at all. All you'll see is your head.
The floating
Oh,
head.
that'd be appropriate.
That'd be just like your sticker.
Do I still have family back in Germany? Yes, I've got lots of family back in Germany. I'm actually due for my Germany trip next year. I try to go every 5 years.
Steve just learned how to do hearts.
There's my 318. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, for a do-it-yourself, or do you want a picoscope? No, there's nothing wrong with that. I want a picoscope.
Ask them; they may give you one.
Yeah, no, I need to be more in front of the camera first, develop a rapport with my audience, and then that might attract more sponsors.
Well, they offer. I asked them, and they offered to give me a discount, so I'm sure they would you if you used it on your channel.
I mean, again, the whole point about my channel is me working, and if people see me using something, that wouldn't really need a review of the product because they can see me using it. Do you know what I mean? A review of the product just verifies, yes, this is what it can do. But the fact that I'm using something in my videos, that should be proof enough in itself that I'm using the tool, it's of benefit to me. That's why I'm using it.
And I agree with that, and that's sort of what it was. It was just one of those things that you would actually use it in the video, not do a review of it, but and maybe mention where you got it from. That's basically what that is. Almost exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, because I do. There is a side of me that wants to stay away from review videos because again, we've been overwhelmed with review videos lately. It seems like everybody's doing review videos about the same product, and the impression that most people then get is, oh well, here's another one that we send a free product to review. But and that's the same thing with these video glasses here. The first thing I told the guy is, look, I'm not going to do a review video. I'm gonna record the video, or I'm gonna use the glasses, and I'm gonna see what they can do for me, and I might make a link available to my viewers. But no review is going to be needed if I end up using it on a constant basis.
And I'm guilty of doing the reviews too, and I'm actually at the point now where I'm thinking that I'm going to do a lot less of them. It's nice to get offered the tools for free, but it's sort of like I said, how many scan tools can you actually have? And it's just eventually you don't need it anymore. Some of the stuff, how many battery jump backs,
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's not even that bad for you yourself as your own channel to get all this stuff and to review. But the problem is when you have 10, 20 channels doing the same thing, Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Oh, and I don't disagree, but it's like I said, it's free marketing, and I was surprised when I only had 1,500 viewers or so, and I'm getting asked to do reviews, and at first it's like, wow, this is really cool, but what else do we got?
Thermal
What
camera.
are everyone's thoughts on these new thermal cameras that are coming out?
Snap-on is trying to sell me one of his. I have the one that plugs into my cell phone, the little Seek Thermal. I like the Seek Thermal, but I do want something that's independent of my cell phone because my cell phone is a little bit precious still. I don't want to just always grab it. I want something that's dedicated, but they're still a bit pricey at this point for sure.
Wild Steve flaming pool.
Yes, I saw it.
Are those hearts and chicks, or is it poop?
Flaming poo.
The chat's going to hell.
And once again, it's one wild's fault.
What else? Anybody have anything else that we want to go over or add or?
Yeah, USB endoscope. Yeah, anything that you have to plug into the PC, you know, I try to stay away from that. Aside, obviously, a Pico, I would still plug into the USB port. But actually, I would, if at all, even install it on my Verus. I do have a Verus that runs XP. No, sorry, it's Windows 7. It's the Verus Edge. And I would plug my Pico into that. But for what I need, my Verus scope is good enough.
Hi, Stutzman. How are you, Terry?
Hey, Terry. Stop looking so serious. I'm trying to read the comments here. I'm actually getting a bit red in the face here, getting a bit warm from all the lights.
Starting to get warm with this on, drinking the wine.
Yeah.
Gonna see if I can thumb up myself here. Somebody said to thumbs up. Can I send this in the chat?
What's that?
I don't think so, Thomas. I've tried to keep up with it.
Oh, there you go. See, I just thumbed up myself.
Well, if nobody else will do it, you gotta just do it yourself.
That's right.
That's what I'm doing too. I'm sort of looking at the chat. I sort of ran out of questions for you, so I didn't know if anybody else was doing it or just keeping an eye in there to see what everybody else is saying. Maybe I don't want to. I don't know.
No, there's a lot of good interaction between viewers, which is actually nice.
One while was busting me and I was busting the back, so you know the normal.
How is the Verus Edge, Thomas?
I like it. I've gone through, let's see, I've gone through an original Verus. I had the Verus Pro and now the Verus Edge. And it's a lot smoother. It's more stable. It's running Windows 7 embedded. The Verus Pro had XP.
Is that the one you just said you had updated?
No, I updated my Modus Ultra. $1,000 update.
That to me, that's just insane. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you need it, but that's
Well,
insane.
No, the sad part is I don't really need it. But
No.
I've got four scanners that could use updating, and I figure I update one of them every 5 years. And that's good enough for what I need. You know, the Verus, the Verus is fairly up to date, but all I really use it for is the 4-channel lab scope. The Modus Ultra is the one that I use for scanning most of the cars, so I want to make sure that that one is up to date. And when I need a scope, a 2-channel scope, I use it. My Vantage Pro I still use. I still have the original Vantage. So yeah, I have too many toys.
What is the most popular car brand in your area, Thomas?
BMW, I think.
Wow, you live in a rich area.
Vancouver is the what is it? The supercar capital of Canada. More supercars registered in Vancouver alone than in all of Canada combined, or the rest of Canada.
I haven't used it yet. A couple of people have asked me that with using that scanner, and I have not had a chance with the snow that we had and working overtime at work and doing stuff. I have not had a chance to put it on anything. And this weekend I'm going to be taking snow equipment off of stuff and cleaning up my garage. But it is on the list. It most certainly is. I'd love to use it. I mean, I know one thing. It looks It looks pretty sitting here. I can tell you that. It looks nice.
It should.
What can I say? It's almost only so much time in a day.
I don't think they get a little snow if he's there.
Where's that?
Where Thomas is.
Thomas's.
Yeah.
Do you get much snow, Thomas, or not?
Usually we don't, but this past summer, past winter was one of the worst ones. The last one we had this bad was in 2008.
Wow.
And what do you consider bad?
Anything more than a foot.
Oh yeah, that's bad here too.
Well, usually we get like maybe 6 inches, and then within 2 days it's gone. But this time around it was like at least 2 months of 6 inches or more. Because we're right at the water, right on the west coast, right? The Pacific warm air, so we usually don't see a lot of snow. But it does come in waves every it was 8 years now, I guess. 8 and 8, 16, yeah.
So Terry, what do you think of the Encore? That was one that I was considering also. On my way to what?
The one who has the most toys.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
You're not doing bad.
There's a lot of guys with a lot more toys than me.
Peekaboo, where are you? You're expecting another snowstorm? Where's that?
Oh, that's cool if you win one. I'd love to have done that. Was that on their was that on that giveaway that they were just doing that Jim the car guy was part of? I put in for that, but I didn't win anything.
I need a U.S. address. All the contests are U.S. only. Nova Scotia still has snow. Wow.
Hell, I don't remember. I bought the wrong part for it with the wrong year. I don't want to tell that story. Don't get me started. I needed Terry Stutzman's help on that. I should have called him and asked him what year my car was. Oh my gosh.
You were close.
Yeah, I was close. It's funny how on some parts that you put in that how much difference 2 years can make on the working of the part. I was surprised, but it can make a difference.
Are all BMWs rear-wheel drive?
Yes. Unless they're four-wheel drive. They never made front wheel only. And what do you do outside of work, Thomas? YouTube.
And that's it? YouTube?
Yeah, I don't have a social life.
Well, actually, somebody mentioned it here. I did catch that in the comments. It's something about, and this particular quote doesn't pertain to you, but they said that's what most married men do now on Friday night is set on YouTube hangouts and live chats on Friday nights.
Yeah, I read that earlier as well, or partially.
Yeah, I can't remember if he said that.
I'm pretty sure that was Glenn that said that. But
Yeah, the joys of X Drive. There's this guy, what's his name? Flat Rate Master. Do you guys follow him?
what's the name again? I'm pretty sure I don't, but
Flat Rate Master.
Oh yeah, yes. I haven't watched many of his videos, but I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, new channel, and he's been following me for quite a while. And, he opened up his own channel, and on Instagram I follow him as well. And he posted a picture of a BMW service that he was doing. It was a 29-hour job, and it was just basically involving dropping the front end to do I think it was an oil pan gasket or something, or probably a little bit more involved. But maybe only about 5 parts involved, but 29 hours. It's crazy.
And how do you charge for that? I mean
Well, 29 hours.
that's an unsightly bill, you know. I know, yeah, but wow.
Well, yeah, but you would think that people owning a car like that should have no problems with paying something like that. But then on the other hand, you would think a car being as expensive as that may very well be in terms of the initial cost shouldn't have any major issues for at least 10 years.
Well, that was going to be the first point you made is actually what I was sort of going to say. I was going to say, well, I guess I didn't know the price on it, but I was going to say is if it's one of those cars that you can afford, I guess you should be able to afford to fix it. But the second point I think is valid too. When you're paying that kind of money for something, you would expect it to last.
And sadly, the guys that complain the most are the guys that buy the expensive car and don't have the money left over for actual servicing.
Yeah, yeah.
My car is 26 years old, I think. It's an 89. What's the math on that? 28-year-old.
89 to 19 would be 30 years, so take 2 off that, so 28.
Yeah, 28-year-old. See, that's why I drive a 28-year-old car, because I don't have the money for it to maintain a new car. But then I'm $6,000 in the hole because of the turbo.
That's for Thomas.
$3,600 for 29 hours. See? What's the labor rate for that? Well, I guess $100 an hour would be 2,900, so a little bit over 100, yeah. See you, Steve.
Who's that?
Steve Rob.
Steve Rob. Good night, Steve.
Good night,
Thanks
Steve.
for dropping in. Probably won't be too long. We're gonna wrap this up too. I mean, it's
Way past our bedtime.
yeah, it's 8:30 here already, and man, it's a Friday night, and this is probably about the most excitement we can stand for as long as we can.
Yeah. Well, hey, I got to make sure that it doesn't cut into my prime time. So it's 6 o'clock is dinner time. 8 o'clock is prime time TV night. So I still have the whole night ahead of me. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're only talking what 5:30 there at your time.
Yeah. 1:30 a.m. Where are you?
UK?
I think he's UK.
I think he's in the UK.
BMW 2 Series is front wheel drive, really?
Well, be sure to tell Doris hello.
Yeah, and tell her hello from me too.
So what's for supper tonight, Thomas? At 6 o'clock. What do we have good?
Yeah, what are you making?
Salad and bratwurst.
And what?
The big sausage, bratwurst.
Yes. Bratwurst.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm exaggerating.
I know he did. He threw me off. I was thinking he was saying big toes or something. Hell, I didn't know. I thought maybe that was a German dish of some kind. I missed something.
Yeah, I was exaggerating the word a bit. Sorry.
Bratwurst. Yeah.
Und ein Bier.
Sauerkraut on it, or
no.
Oh, I thought that's the way it's good.
Yeah.
I used to be into sauerkraut, not now anymore.
He's getting old.
Yeah. Like
We're the
like
same age, but I'm still eating it.
like me, a lot of things don't agree anymore that used to agree.
Yeah. Farting 20 years with
I got one sitting next to me, but that's another story.
Gators going
Currywurst is
quiet,
pretty
so-
good. Yeah.
Wiener Schnitzel. Of course.
Well, a lot of the people are checking out Thomas, and if you don't mind, I think maybe that's what we'll do here. It's
No
been a
problem at all.
pleasure. I've had a great time. I really appreciate you coming on. I enjoy watching your channel. I try to get to all the videos, and please keep on making them and continue to making them.
Well, thank you very much, and right back at you. I mean, the reason I like you is because you're really down to earth, you speak from the heart, and everything is genuine. You know, you can really tell when somebody is just trying to make a video and talking to the camera just for views. You know what I mean? I don't. It's probably coming out wrong now, but I think there's a real genuinity. Is that a word? With your videos.
I know what you're saying, because there are a few other people that have made that comment, and you know, they just and you know, I get some comment. I won't get into it, but I will say that if anybody looks at my intro, you know, that's one of the first things I say. You know, I try to be honest. I try to give you a straight up. I'm certainly not the best at doing some of this stuff, but I try to do it honestly and do it the best that I can to help somebody out, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you know, and if more people did that in terms of just doing it to be helpful, you know, it would be so much better in terms of a YouTube experience for everybody.
well, and I don't know about you, but I will say this before I go. I just had, you know, I get some really bad comments, but then, you know, there's always that one comment, like the guy told me. He said his daughter took his teenage daughter learning to drive, took the mirror off of his wife's Chevy Volt, and he was very glad that he could go and watch my video and watch what I did, that he didn't have to go and figure out what to take apart, how, and what to watch doing, you know. And you know, no matter how many bad comments you get one or two like that, and it really does. It makes it all worthwhile.
For sure, it's so true.
And making a couple dollars off of it isn't a bad thing either. I won't lie, but you know, even if subscribers go down and money goes down, as long as I have something around to fix and I can show it, you know, I'll do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what basically my thinking as well. Just is if I can help the one person or two, you know, and make life easier for somebody, just reward it in itself.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. So with that, once again, I thank you for coming on. I thank you to everybody who's been in the chat and's been watching, and
Appreciate the support.
Yep, appreciate the support. And if you'd ever like to do it again, now that we maybe have it a little bit better with the way we want to do it, anytime you'd like to do that, just let me know. Hit me up on email or whatever, and I'd love to do it again sometime.
Awesome, much appreciated. Same time frame for me works perfect. Friday nights is ideal. Saturday, Sunday, that's my own thing then, in terms of my live streaming maybe in the future. So Friday nights would be perfect.
Okay, great. You know, I mean, we can make it a. Well, I'll talk to you over email or something, but we can make it a monthly thing or whatever if you want to do it. You know, sometimes we actually do go out on a Friday night. So I mean, it does happen sometimes. So you know.
Yeah,
But
like 3 times a year.
what times are you figuring on your Sunday one?
Probably 5 o'clock, so 8 o'clock your time.
Okay. And I will certainly keep that in mind, because I will be in the chat room and watching and asking you all kinds of complex VW repair questions till you boot me out.
I appreciate it ahead of time. And thanks again for hosting.
Alrighty.
tonight. Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Thomas. Appreciate it. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everybody. Bye.